of dragons, the Dragonborn walk proudly through a world that greets them with fearful incomprehension. Shaped by draconic gods or the dragons themselves, Dragonborn originally hatched from dragon eggs as a unique race, combining the attributes of both dragons and humanoids. Some are faithful servants to true dragons, others form the ranks of soldiers in great wars, and still others find themselves adrift, with no clear calling in life. Of all mortal creatures in the world, dragons are the most awesome and powerful. As worthy as their true dragon kin, Dragonborn have been among the fiercest and strongest warriors and heroes across the settings of D&D. Mighty warriors, legendary warlords, all-powerful sorcerers, and fabled paladins have all risen from the ancient lines of Dragonborn kind. But their past is not just one of greatness and grandeur, but one of puzzling mystery, deep-seated dichotomy, and terrible tragedy. Myths speak of the birth of the Dragonborn, though they differ in the telling. Tales, awe-inspiring and terrifying, tell of the rise and fall of Dragonborn empires. And modern Dragonborn live according to their heritage, more than one aiming to carve an eternal story into the world's chronicles. But what does it mean to be born of the dragon? I am Omar Timsah.
I am William Stark.
And this is D&D Legends and Lore. Dragonborn look very much like dragons standing erect in humanoid form, though most lack wings and many are without tails. The first Dragonborn had scales of vibrant hues matching the colors of their dragon kin, but generations of interbreeding have created a more uniform appearance. Their small, fine scales are usually brass or bronze in color, sometimes ranging to scarlet, rust, gold, or copper green. Dragonborn cut an impressive figure among other humanoids. They are often tall, strongly built, and thick-boned, standing close to 6.5 feet tall and weighing 300 pounds or more. Their hands and feet are strong, talon-like claws with 3 fingers and a thumb on each hand. A Dragonborn's head features a blunt snout, a strong brow, and distinctive frills at the cheek and ear. Behind the brow, a crest of horn-like scales of various lengths resemble thick, ropey hair. Their eyes are usually shades of red or gold, but can vary as widely as the colors of true dragons. The blood of a particular type of dragon runs very strong through some Dragonborn clans. These Dragonborn often boast scales that more closely match those of their dragon ancestor: bright red, green, blue, or white, lustrous black, or gleaming metallic gold, silver, brass, copper, or bronze. Most Dragonborn have very fine scales over most of their body, giving their skin a leathery texture, with regions of larger scales on the forearms, lower legs and feet, shoulders, and thighs. Like true dragons, Dragonborn hatch from eggs, usually laid singly or, more rarely, in a pair. Young Dragonborn grow faster than human children do. They walk hours after hatching, reach the size and development of a 10-year-old human child by the age of 3, and reach adulthood by 15. They live about as long as humans do. Despite a passing resemblance to reptilian creatures, Dragonborn are warm-blooded beings rather than cold-blooded reptiles. Their bodies are hot enough to seem feverish to human sensibilities. This keeps a Dragonborn more comfortable in cold temperatures. A lack of body hair coupled with a large mouth that can be opened to release body heat means that a Dragonborn is no more vulnerable to hot temperatures than a human. Dragonborn carry within them a supernatural bodily potential to tap into and develop draconic traits. Most develop a breath weapon, which is dangerous by the time a Dragonborn reaches adulthood. Dragonborn with chromatic ancestry claim the raw elemental power of chromatic dragons. The vibrant colors of black, blue, green, red, and white dragons gleam in those Dragonborn's scaled skin and in the deadly energy of their breath weapons. Theirs is the raw elemental fury of the volcano, of biting Arctic winds, and of raging lightning storms, as well as the subtle whisper of swamp and forest, toxic and corrosive. Dragonborn with metallic ancestry lay claim to the tenacity of metallic dragons, brass, bronze, copper, gold, and silver, whose hues glint in their scales. Theirs is the fire of hearth and forge, the cold of high mountain air, the spark of inspiration, and the scouring touch of acid that purifies. Gem Dragonborn partake of the heritage of gem dragons, who claim to be heirs of Sardior, the ruby dragon. The colors and mysterious powers of gem dragons, amethyst, crystal, emerald, sapphire, and topaz, gleam in these Dragonborn scaled skin and course through their veins. Theirs are the wonders of the mind, the force of will, the brilliant light of insight, and the resounding echo of discovery, but also the desiccation of despair. The ancestors of Dragonborn hatched from the eggs of chromatic and metallic dragons. One story holds that these eggs were blessed by the dragon gods Bahamut and Tiamat, who wanted to populate the multiverse with people created in their image. Another story claims that the dragons created the first Dragonborn without the gods' blessings. Whatever their origin, Dragonborn have made homes for themselves on the material plane. As with all stories of the ancient past, tales of the origins of the Dragonborn are hazy and sometimes contradictory. Each reveals something about the Dragonborn in its telling, however. One story relates that the Dragonborn were shaped by the ancient dragon god Io, at the same time that Io created the dragons. In the beginning of days, Io fused brilliant astral spirits with the unchecked fury of the elements. The greater spirits became dragons, creatures so powerful, proud, and willful that they were lords of the newborn world. The lesser spirits became the Dragonborn. Although smaller in stature, they were no less draconic in nature. This tale stresses the close kinship between dragons and Dragonborn, while reinforcing the natural order of things. Dragons rule and Dragonborn serve, at least according to the Dragonborn's former masters. Another legend asserts that Io created the dragons at the birth of the world, but Dragonborn did not yet exist. Then, during the Dawn War, Io was killed by the primordial known as Eric Huss, the King of Terror. With a rough-hewn axe of adamantine, the behemoth split Io from head to tail, cleaving the dragon god into two equal halves, which rose up as new gods, Bahamut and Tiamat. Droplets of Io's blood, spattered across the world, became the first Dragonborn. For some who believe it, this origin story supports the view that Dragonborn are clearly inferior to dragons that were made by Io's loving hand, while others emphasize that the Dragonborn arose from Io's own blood, just as two draconic deities arose from the god's severed body. So are the Dragonborn not, therefore, like the gods themselves? A third origin story posits that the Dragonborn were the firstborn of the world, created by Io before the existence of other humanoid races, which were pale imitations of Dragonborn perfection. Io shaped the Dragonborn and fired them with his breath, then spilled his own blood to give them life. The first Dragonborn served Io as companions and allies, filling his astral court and singing his praises. The dragons he made only later, at the start of the Dawn War, to serve as engines of destruction. This view of Dragonborn history is shared by those who believe that Dragonborn are superior to other races, and thus should be the masters of dragons and not the other way around. Despite their differing conclusions, a common theme binds all these legends together. The Dragonborn owe their existence to Io, the great dragon god who created all of dragonkind. The Dragonborn, all legends agree, are not the creations of Bahamut or Tiamat, and so they have no predetermined side in the conflict between those gods. Every individual Dragonborn, regardless of one's particular draconic ancestry, makes a personal choice in matters of ethics and morality. In the world of Forgotten Realms, Dragonborn hail from Abir, the primordial twin of Toril. On that world, most of the Dragonborn are slaves to their dragon masters, though many won their freedom and formed nations of free Dragonborn. During the Spell Plague, the two worlds intersected, and one of those free Dragonborn nations, Tymanchabar, was transported to Faerun. It displaced the nation of Unther, and out of the ashes of these two kingdoms, the surviving Dragonborn formed Tymanther, a new Dragonborn nation in Faerun. For a time, The Dragonborn of Timanther sought to integrate with their new world while maintaining their own traditions and culture. These efforts gave the nation and its people a reputation for being honorable and worthy of respect. Only a few generations later, however, the events of the Sundering returned Unther to Faerun, and the formerly displaced land sought to reclaim all it had lost to Timanther. Reeling from this disaster, the remaining Dragonborn in Faerun now find they must work even harder and with fewer resources to find their place among the people of the world. To most Dragonborn raised within Dragonborn society, the clan is more important than life itself. They owe their devotion and respect to their clan above all else, even the gods. In this scenario, each Dragonborn's conduct reflects on the honor of their clan, and bringing dishonor to the clan can result in expulsion and exile. Each Dragonborn knows their station and duties within the clan, and honor demands maintaining the bounds of that position. A continual drive for self-improvement reflects the self-sufficiency of the species as a whole. Dragonborn culture values skill and excellence in all endeavors. They hate to fail, and they push themselves to extreme efforts before they give up on something. A Dragonborn holds mastery of a particular skill as a lifetime goal. Members of other races who share the same commitment find it easy to earn the respect of a Dragonborn. Though clan-raised Dragonborn strive to be self-sufficient, they recognize that help is sometimes needed in difficult situations. But the best source for such help is the clan. And when a clan needs help, it turns to another Dragonborn clan, before seeking aid from other species or even from the gods. Their code of honorable behavior and unswerving loyalty serves the Dragonborn as a kind of faith, and, according to the traditionalists among them, that outlook is all the religion they need. Because in some cases they were forced to worship their draconic masters in times past, many Dragonborn are generally skeptical about religion, seeing it as a form of servitude. The skeptics believe that no matter how their original god Io brought them into being, that ancient deity is either long dead or uncaring about their fate. And the dragon gods that supplanted Io seem primarily interested in amassing soldiers for their ages-old conflict. Still, some Dragonborn do hear the call of the gods and choose to serve them, and are as loyal in this faith as they are to any other cause. Bahamut and Tiamat have Dragonborn worshippers, and both Torm and Tyr appeal to the Dragonborn's sense of honor and order. Similarly, Tempest and the Red Knight appeal to the warrior spirit in some Dragonborn, and Kelemvor speaks to some of the inevitability of death and the need to live well in one's allotted time. Religious belief is an intensely personal thing to the Dragonborn who espouse it, some of whom are as devoted to their faith as they are to their family and clan. When it comes to leisure in Dragonborn culture, improving abilities and competition take precedence. When Dragonborn aren't honing their skills, they're playing a game or engaging in an activity to prove their grit, mental, physical, or spiritual. Dragonborn don't restrict their activities to familiar skills. Part of developing oneself is expanding one's horizons. Dragonborn do prefer competitive games. Although team events are fine, contests that have one clear winner are favored. Therefore, a Dragonborn hones skills at strategic board games, philosophical riddle contests, improvised storytelling events, and one-on-one sports. The ferocity of the draconic spirit couples with physical strength and militaristic culture, leading Dragonborn to create and participate in sports more violent than many other peoples are used to. In fact, numerous Dragonborn, even non-heroic sorts, form fighting or wrestling clubs, as well as regular contests of weapon skill. Intrepid Dragonborn try their hands at actual blood sports, such as gladiatorial matches, pit fighting, and dueling. Dragonborn who seek out a life of adventure do so for the chance to prove their worth, win renown, and perhaps become champions about whom stories will be told for generations. To win everlasting glory through mighty deeds, daring exploits, and supreme skill. That is the Dragonborn dream. The common people of most species are unaligned, with few making a conscious effort to choose a good life or an evil one. Dragonborn, however, are much more likely to choose sides in the cosmic war between good and evil. Dragonborn often tell the story of Io's death and the birth of Bahamut and Tiamat, as a mortal tale intended to emphasize the importance of standing on one side or the other. Io didn't die so we could stand in the middle, they say. We're not called to ambivalence. The choices stand before you, Bahamut's way or Tiamat's. The only wrong decision is refusing to choose. More Dragonborn choose Bahamut's path than Tiamat's. The pathways of justice, honor, nobility, and protection are more conducive to society's smooth functioning than those of greed, envy, and vengeance. Those who follow Tiamat's ways usually keep their choice quiet, worshipping the chromatic dragon in secret shrines while going through the motions of fulfilling social expectations. Choosing sides isn't just a matter of a one-time choice, however. Every moment of crisis calls for a decision, and Dragonborn are inclined to see those decisions as a matter of stark extremes. When wronged, a Dragonborn can choose the path of Bahamut and seek to bring the wrongdoer to justice, or the victim might choose the path of Tiamat and swear vengeance. Even good-aligned Dragonborn who are devoted to Bahamut sometimes choose the latter path, not out of impulsive rage, but because it's the best course to take in that particular situation. This disdain for ambivalence extends beyond good and evil. While some Dragonborn appreciate the virtue of listening to both sides of an argument, many don't respect anyone who hears both sides and can't choose between them. Decisiveness is a mark of strong character. This attitude makes compromise more difficult for Dragonborn to reach or accept than it is for other species, but not impossible. Some Dragonborn outright reject the idea of choosing between Bahamut's way and Tiamat's, notably the followers of the Temple of Io's Children. These Dragonborn are often unaligned, but their position is a decision not to choose sides, rather than a sign of ambivalence. They view the distinction between the gods as a false dichotomy, a choice between two sides of the same coin, not really different from each other. In the world of Narath, Dragonborn have a long and storied history. But above all, there is one story that looms in the minds of all Dragonborn, the story of Arcosia, the now all but forgotten Dragonborn Empire. Arcosia was not the first Dragonborn Empire, nor, many Dragonborn proclaim, will it go down in history as the last. Even so, it stands as a shining point in Dragonborn history, the pinnacle of their civilization, and a culture that, though long dead, still shapes its descendants. Every living Dragonborn is in some sense an heir of Arcosia, and carries both the pride of that ancient lineage and the burden of the fallen empire's memory. Arcosia arose in the distant recesses of history, untold centuries before the rise of the human empire of Narath. It grew from a confederacy of 7 city-states united under the leadership of a single ancient dragon, dubbed the Golden One. It expanded partly through conquest and partly through simple diplomatic outreach and trade. Many Dragonborn city-states and even some tribes and nations of other races deemed it preferable to live within the secure borders of a powerful empire than to fend for themselves in the darkness outside Arcosia's borders. Arcosia prospered for hundreds of years, taming the wilderness and expanding its trade and diplomatic missions to far-flung corners of the world. That constant drive toward expansion soon brought Arcosia into conflict with the other imperial power of that distant era, the diabolical empire of Baal Terath, with its tiefling noble caste. Bitter wars between the two empires spanned centuries and wrought terrible devastation upon the world. The strains of war brought internal conflicts to light within Arcosia as well, partly manifested in the renewed strength of Tiamat's secretive cults. The fall of Arcosia was as great as its accomplishments. The armies of Baal Terath, with their devil allies, defiled great swaths of the empire's lands, swallowed entire Dragonborn cities into deep caverns, or simply razed them to the ground. The Golden One was slain, and dozens of other Dragon Lords fell or were scattered into the wilderness as their grip on the land slipped. Baal Terath fell under Arcosia's relentless assault, but it took the Dragonborn Empire down with it. When neither side had the will or resources to fight any longer, when the shouts and horns of battle were silenced at last, nothing remained of the two empires but scattered remnants of displaced populations and haunted ruins. Few Dragonborn still inhabit the lands at the heart of their ancient empire, lands that remain tainted by the evil and powerful magic that brought the Empire low. Yet many Dragonborn still think of themselves as citizens of Arcosia, exiles from a land that no longer exists but might someday be reborn. Proud heirs of the long-shattered Empire, the Dragonborn struggle to preserve their racial identity in a world that is no longer theirs to command. They believe themselves to be the most ancient race to walk the land, second in creation after only the dragons themselves. But they are a race in twilight, watching as younger races squabble over the remnants of the power that once was theirs. For these Dragonborn, Arcosia is more than a memory. It's a symbol of all that is great about their people. The Empire's glory was the glory of all Dragonborn, but by extension, its fall was their fall. As much as individual Dragonborn seek to earn glory by their deeds, their efforts will never reach the heights of Arcosia's renown, unless and until a new Golden One appears to rule over a restored draconic empire. This has been D&D Legends and Lore. Thanks so much for listening or watching on your platform of choice. If you enjoyed the episode, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Also consider leaving us a review, especially on Apple Podcasts. It really helps others find the show. If you'd like to support us more directly, check out our Patreon or channel memberships on YouTube. There you'll also find ad-free early episodes as well as live play and third-party D&D content. Links, as always, are in the description. Lastly, we wanted to give a big thank you to our new video editor, Sean, aka The Unhumble Bard. You can check him out over on his YouTube channel, The Unhumble Bard. With that, thank you for listening, and happy adventuring.